I am Mr. Cletus. Uh, I have a nickname. My nickname is KP, which means Cletus Posh. That's my nickname. I have many nicknames. So when I was in secondary school, I have a nickname. So when I was in higher institution, I have a nickname. Now I've left all of that. I'm now in my ward, doing my thing. I have a nickname. You are welcome. Good to be here. Good to have you. You know, one of the most interesting things that I've experienced this year, 2024, is my encounter with Africa Green Gates and the management, Mr. Manifest and the father. They are the most interesting people I've met in this town in recent years. I think one of the things that is very scarce in Africa, in Nigeria, mostly in Warri, is people whose daily living is run by knowledge. Are we together? Because I discovered that young Nigerians, even the old one, they have no discipline to acquire as much information as they need, or as more knowledge as they need. And I'm also very impressed this morning to see us leave everything, decide to be here, to know what to do. By the grace of God, I'm not a hypothetical teacher. How many of you know who a hypothetical teacher is? A teacher who teaches what he or she hasn't done. They are called hypothetical teachers. Some years ago, I connected with a young girl on Facebook and who said she is a mentor on marriage. She teaches people how to have a blissful marital life. So after my engagement with her for a week or about 2 weeks, and one day I asked her, "Madam, are you married?" And I discovered that she wasn't married. She's a single lady. And I said, "Okay, who is she?" She's a hypothetical teacher. She's not teaching from experience. She's just teaching from what she has read. And sometimes theory and practical could be a little bit parallel. Are you getting it? So, by the grace of God, since I left school, when I just graduated, I got home, I was so energized. I want to get a good job and make money because I know who I am. Because when I was in school, I was not just reading books on academy, I was also reading books on motivational books. So I told my younger brother then, I was living with him, he worked with Nigerian Immigration Service, give me 1,000 for transport to go look for a job. And he gave me 1,000. That's many years ago. And I went to town. Before I came back, what was left in my pocket was 100 naira. And I've not got any job. So I sat down, I said, this approach will not work. So I have to sit down to think. And by the grace of God, since then, I've never been employed. My elder brother took me to bank twice. I turned down the offer because I don't need a job. And I was telling somebody which day, I said, nobody can employ me now. You can't pay me. The only employment I can take now is government appointment. Tell me, come and become commissioner. I need to help my country. I can sacrifice anything for it. for the welfare of my country. Because I know if I do it for my country, it will reflect on the lives of my children later. So I think that is it. And by the grace of God, we'll be quite successful. We're seeing money in millions. I know that sometime in 2021, I walked to a car shop and I bought 3 one day. I didn't do Yahoo by the grace of God. By the grace of God. I don't know how to do it. If you say, how do they start Yahoo? I don't know the beginning. No, that do I know. I've never spoken to Igbo. If I have done that at all, it's for business purposes. So I don't know how they do it. And sometimes when I even hear news on how they do it, the work looks so big. I don't really see anything wrong in it, but the process, the time, I'm not too patient to do all of that. Yeah. So let's go. And by the grace of God, one thing I have also learned is learning how to start anyhow. I was talking to a restaurant manager yesterday where I went to eat. I said, we start locally and think globally. Are you getting it? Start locally, but think what? Globally. I was just brainstorming on Africa Green Gate and the connectivity. And I told myself, in the next 5 years, at least we should have a very robust presence outside the country. Targeting first, UK, and secondly, US. It is very doable. Especially when we have seen people do it before. One of the ways to know that this thing can be done is when you have seen people do it before. Are we together? Yeah. So it's been done by people and it can be replicated anywhere. So we go straight to the point. I love my class to be interactive. You talk to me and I talk to you. So that is how it's going to be. But another thing is my teachings these days, and that is how I now study too. The way I teach is how I study now. I try to be more practical than being theoretical. If I am to talk, I shouldn't just tell you plenty things. I try to say, this is what we can do. And this is what we can do and not do and get so results. So our discussion this morning is going to be in that dimension. Are we there? So, my title, in alignment with the title given to me, is Solving Africa. Solving Africa greatest problem. Are we there? Through real estate or using real estate. Solving Africa greatest problem using real estate. Yeah. What is Africa's greatest problem? Who can tell me? You know they call Africa the third world. Are you aware of that? The white, they call us the third world. It's the least world. What put us in that space? What gave us that name? Okay, level development. What is? We're not producing anything. And the resultant effect of all of that is poverty. It's poverty. I want to tell you, Donald Trump said, after 3 years in office, he said, we have spent $300 billion on military only. Military financing alone for 3 years, America has spent $300 billion. it will interest you to know that Apple, Apple now, Apple phone, that company is an American-based company. It's richer than Nigeria. Are you aware? Yeah. The net worth of Apple is $200 trillion. Are we together? No, 2 trillions. 2 trillion is the richest company in the world. Are we together? And check the first 3 billionaires, richest people in the world. They are sourced. They are from what? From America. So what I'm trying to say is they are so rich and Africa was so poor. Africa is a poor continent, believe it or not. Sometimes when people blame government this, but we don't have anything. We are not prudent in managing resources, that is clear. But the truth of the matter is we don't have money. It is when they convert your money to naira, they calculate it trillion. Put it in dollar, the global currency, it's change. It's change. We don't have money. Africa is a very poor continent. And what is the cause of this poverty? There is what we call vicious circle of poverty. We call it vicious circle of poverty. If you are a good economy student, you must have come across this. Vicious circle of poverty. It can also be called brutal circle of poverty. It can also be called dangerous circle of what? Of poverty. It's very common in Africa. And before you use this word on a person or a group of people, it's a family where poverty has moved from one generation to another. When poverty has run in a family for at least 2 generations, we say there is a dangerous circle of poverty. And I'll draw it for you. This is how the circle look like. Here we have what we call this is poverty. Here we have low income. And here we have low income will give back to low savings. Low income will give back to low savings. You know what called savings? I love the word Peter Obi calls it, very economical. We'll call it lack. I'll call it low savings. Another word for a lack of capital formation. Peter Obi will say you at the heart of poverty is lack of what? Capital formation. Then low savings will give back to low what? Low investment. Low investment, because in economics, R is equal to S is equal to I. What is S? What is I? Investments. So people save to eat, but actually you don't save to eat. It's not economically correct for you to save and use it to eat, or save and you to go and buy check. Check will not give you more money. Then low investment will give birth to what? Low what? Productivity. When productivity is low, the resultant event is poverty. This is what do I call this? Vicious or dangerous or brutal circle of poverty is what is ravaging us in Africa. Are we there? Now, one of the root cause why people stay in this circle for 2 generations, that is, a poor man has lived, give birth to poor children. Are you getting it? And his children are now also giving birth to what? To poor children. It means poverty has now journeyed from generation to what? To another generation. Are we there? That is why sometimes if you decide to take the bull by the horn and tell yourself, I may be born poor, but I will not give birth to poor children. What it means is that I may be born poor, but I will succeed to give my children a prosperous life. From my own time, poverty has to be decimated. This world will be way, this war will be way and be won. And it's actually what? Winnable. Are we there? So, ignorance is one of the greatest weapons of poverty. And do you know why you are here? You are here today, this hour, to acquire the skills required to engage poverty one-on-one and defeat it. Are we there? I think that's the reason why we left everything we were doing and we're here. I do it every day. If you come to my house, I have a very big bookshelf. This year alone, I spent over 10,000 buying books. It's just for a cause. I don't want to be poor. Neither do I want to raise a poor generation. You know, that's what you are doing too, coming to learn. So, now, we can escape from this circle using real estate as a vehicle. First of all, I want to dwell on this. I want to dwell on this. Please, wiper. I want to dwell on this. How many the power of real estate, the power of real estate, the energy of real estate. The another word, power means what? Who can tell me? What? Power is energy. That's the definition of power. What's the definition of power? Ability to what? Do work. So that's power. What is real estate? When I just started real estate business, I went to a meeting to talk, and the talk was so interesting. And one of them asked me, "What is real estate?" The truth is, I've never sat down one day to ask myself the definition of what? While I don't bust. I was not saying many things. You know, when you don't know what you want to say, you'll be saying plenty things. And an intelligent audience will know that there is a lacuna here. So what is real estate? What is real estate? You know, sir. Tell me now. We are interactive here. It's not a monologue. Yes. Land and all that is in it. Don't forget to land and all. Let me just use the word all, but if you go deep, it's not really all in Nigeria, because there's a law saying at a level under the earth, what is there belongs to the federal government. Law and all that is in what? In it. Be it natural or man-made. Be it natural or what? Man-made. So this is a piece, where we are now, it's a piece of real estate. It's a land and a building on it. Is the building man-made or natural? It is man-made, so it's a real estate. So real estate is a land and that is in it, whether man-made or what? Natural. Using the power of the ability of real estate to exit the vicious circle of what? Of poverty. Yeah. That's where we are going to. There is a formula I'm developing. I call it capital formation formula. How to become a millionaire in 5 years with even 30 naira income in a month. You can become a millionaire. I'm developing it and I'm teaching it, and by the grace of God, it will soon go viral. And one of the best way to deploy it after forming the capital to a certain level is push it into what? Real estate. Who can tell me how many aspects of real estate business do we have? We have what we call land what? Land banking. Yeah. I want our class to be interactive. Talk to me. Land banking, commercial real estate. I'm coming. Realtor, I don't know, just the agent, real estate agents. We call them realtors. Real estate investment. Property development. Real estate consultancy. What of property management? Let's just, they are numerous. They are numerous. And the ones we can do now, we're going to look at it. One of the advantage of real estate over other businesses is what? Very low risk. Low level of what? Of risk. That is why some people, after they have amassed wealth, the next thing is they quickly keep their money in what? In real estate. Because if the whole world burns, land will what? Remain. We also say real estate is not volatile. It's not volatile. It's the most stable industry in the world. The most stable industry in the world. Now, what is low income? We said we give back to what? Low savings. And savings is one of the way to form what? Capital. For example, there are some of us, if we give you ₦1 million to start a business now, you know what to do with it. It's not true? But you could be handicapped in the next 2-3 years, not able to do what you have the capacity to do because of what? Lack of what? Capital. That is why once you have spotted idea, the next thing you are going to do is to try to form enough capital to bring your idea into what? Reality. And how do you use real estate as a vehicle to do this? Which part is the most expensive among all of this? You are really involved in this business. Property, what? When you get here, know that only one transaction, you don't pay 50 million. One transaction. But do you have money to get there? Very expensive. We may not be able. This one, you can start without money. Empty hand. You can start property management. But you need to have the knowledge. Real estate investments is one thing that has become very easy now. It will shock you that with 100,000, you can start what? real estate investment. Are we together? The Africa Green Gates has now also make it so easy for you to go into land banking with pieces of what? Money. I tell people, the poor, the difference between the poor and the rich is not that the two of them don't see money. But one sees money in bulk, another one sees money what? In pieces. Are you getting it? And to do even this, it takes bulky what? Money. There's a project I needed to do. And that project, hey, God Almighty, money is very powerful. If anybody tells you that money is not powerful, the person is deceiving you. Are we there? And we needed ₦1 million to go ahead. For like 2 months, we were on a standstill, unable to make any what? Singular move. We have done all the preliminary work, but we needed this block. But in the long run, God what? Provided it. Are we there? So what I'm trying to say is, forming capital. Even if you don't have ₦1 you can start a realtor business. Are you getting it? We have looked at how many now. This one, without money, you can start in real estate. This one, without money, you can start in real estate. Who is a realtor? Somebody that is trained to sell what? A pieces of real estate. You don't have a land. You could come to Africa Green Gate and say, please, do you have properties for sale? Say yes. Where and where? You get yourself familiarized with it. If I say, what will be my percentage? 5%. Oh yeah, you're out. Give me bills. Because you don't even need to print handbills. There already existing handbills. Oh yeah, you start movement. Meeting people, talk to them. You sell. There's also, that's why knowledge. This year I told myself, before the middle of 2024, I'm already a well-groomed sales expert. And by the grace of God, I have a page on Facebook now called KPMMN. I know MMM now. What's this? Cletus Posh Money Making Machine. And what is Cletus Posh Money Making Machine? Is what? One word. Sales. Where does sales happen? When money has been given in exchange of what? Products. It's not everybody that has the capacity to sell. There is more to sales. I tell you the truth. There is more to sales. And one of the things we are going to be learning in this school, there will be a course called Sales/Marketing what? Course. Because my lecturer told us, as a marketing student then, that no matter how good your product is, if it is not taken to the market, nobody will ask of it. So when you have a product, you must develop the skills and techniques to sell. So as a realtor or as an agent in the real estate industry, you need to have skills to sell real estate. Because selling akara is different from selling real estate. Selling clothes is different from selling real estate. You know why? Real estate has to do with bulk money, millions. Last year, one of my mentors in the real estate industry was saying it, that a girl made 6 million as a realtor in 1 year. As a what? As a realtor. So, by the grace of God, detailed knowledge on how to stay in this zone and become a multi-millionaire. I'll teach you. As I said earlier, you don't need money to do it. Land banking. What is land banking? You buy a land, at this point in time, you have little money, as low as 450,000, as little as 500,000. You buy a land, you secure it, you leave it. And any real estate person will tell you that the best place to buy a land is what? In an estate. Buy through a company, you don't have problem, you go and stay. If you buy from individual, tomorrow they will tell you that this land is no longer yours. So you buy a land, you secure it, leave it for some time. You know that land appreciates on a daily basis. In fact, the fastest appreciating land is estate what? Land. I tell people that the estate company controls how much, how fast their land what? Appreciate. Very important. So you buy, and there is a flexible payment system to buying a land. This flexible payment system, some of you already know it. Pay little by little. In 1 year, you want to say, I'm able to save like 400,000. Yeah? 400,000. I'm able to save 500,000 in a year. And when you are doing that savings, when you are paying for a land little by little, what are you doing? You are forming what? Capital. Because you may not buy that land to sell. And it is also possible that before the year ends, before you finish paying the land, the value of that land has skyrocketed to what? 800,000. Because land appreciates on a daily basis. Then real estate investment. A lot of real estate companies, because real estate is a business that requires huge amount of money. You cannot sponsor this business alone, no matter how rich you are. To develop an estate, we're talking about billions of naira. So what do? I know of a company where you can, if you deposit 100,000, as low as 100,000, it has a growth rate of 20% on a yearly basis. If you are not able to do 200,000, for example, what is 20% of 100,000? It's 20,000. Some people will say that money not too small. But last year, how much were you able to save? Sometimes you were not able to save anything. Talk of something growing to have 20,000 extra. If you also leave that money in the bank, it will not add anything to you. Sometimes you go and put it in one business you know nothing about. After some time, the business crash, everything go away. So we tell you, invest. As low as 100,000. And there is something I also want us to, I also have a formula. I call it KP, Formula for Success. This is KP equal to hard work. Some people will say they are smart work. Multiplied by sagacity. All over what? All over time. That's KP formula for what? Success. Hard work times what? Sagacity all over what? I tell people I can tell you this in an hour, I can tell you this in an hour. Sagacity, another word for sagacity is wisdom. We can talk about this for 1 year, we'll not be through with it. A lot are buried here. But if you can do this formula, if you do not succeed, come and meet me. Tell me how much you want, I will give it to you. Yeah? But why am I saying this now? Because of this word time. I was in a class teaching people how we can make 2 million in 2 years. You know what one woman said? I just said 2 years. 2 years? It's not too big. I'm not very so. In the last 2 years, how much do you have? She said, I don't even have 100,000. Only she now started criticizing herself. In the last 2 years, have you made 500,000? No. I'm not telling you, know what we are going to do for 2 years. Is it too big? I called one boy some years back. I said, let's do this business. He told me, he said, how long will it take us to start making money? I said, 5 years from now, you'll be happy. You know, he told me, God forbid, 5 years, me, do business 5 years. No, nah, the boy walk away. Then, 4 years later, and I saw him somewhere. God, if he was the way he was when we met, I would have been okay. The truth is, the boy has depreciated. Are you getting it? He has gone lesser than he was when we met. People don't have respect for time. And time is very key. Yeah? They just want, let's do it now, make money now. If you don't have it now, let's forget about now. It's not possible. If you remove time, you will crash. Everything that worthwhile takes time. So when we are saying let's form capital, it could take you 2-3 years to raise the amount of money large enough to buy a land. After another 2 years, go and sell that land. If it is too cheap, you are selling it for what? 5 million. What happened? Have you not turned a millionaire? You have turned a millionaire. So, you can use the let's say as a vehicle to exit what? This vicious circle of what? Poverty. I have told us, even without money at all, you can be doing agent. This one is agency. People who need house to rent. Go and meet landlord. Is your house vacant? Say yes. Right? To do banner is not expensive. You put it everywhere. Anybody that need a house, call. Madam, so I need an apartment, 2-bedroom flat. Do you have? Yes, I have. Even if you don't have, tell the person, yes, I have. Connect other people, other agents. They are real estate business. So other agents will link you. Sometimes, it may not be other agents. You may have a landlord that will know that their house is what? Vacant. You facilitate it. At the end of that transaction, you don't make money at all. We are making about 20 to 50K. Maybe if you have many. Because in Warri here, in Benin, for example, where I am from, agency fee is fixed. It's 10%. But in this place, it's not fixed though. You can even rent house and what you are paying them is almost equal to what you are paying landlord. They just tell you the rent here is 250, the legal fee is 50,000, the agency fee 100,000. You will not be begging. I beg. Before you beg, you have paid 50 to 60,000. That's blood money. But in some places, it is by percentage. As you are paying your rent, you know how much is remaining. But you worry here, and it's an opportunity for some people. So train to be realtor. Me, before I started my real estate business, I was what? A realtor. Selling land. I went to ask, I am a salesperson. I will sell till I die. I went to ShopRite to sell land. Marketing people. And there's one beauty about marketing. You know, sometimes you have gone to sell a land, another thing will just come out of it. It has happened to me. I want to meet somebody, talk about land. The next thing is, see me in the office. We went to the office. This. We're not talking about land. We're not talking about something else, which is profitable to me and himself. That's one benefit. Another thing is, you have money. You have connections. They said the real money of Lagos is not money. What is the real money of Lagos? The people in Lagos. If you have the people in Lagos, you have the money. I was looking at the GDP of some state in Nigeria. Then I knew that Lagos is a country in Nigeria. The GDP of Lagos is 41 trillion. 41 what? Port Harcourt is 7 trillion. See the gap? Even Delta here, 7th, is 6 trillion. Oh, Lagos is doing 41. It's a country in your country. They don't run. Well, are you seeing their budget? It's in trillions. So they don't do budget in billions again. They'll tell you our budget is 1.2 trillion for a state in your country. That is why we must enter Lagos. This trillion, we need to go and partake from it. Very important. So we said, let us start locally and what? Think globally. Very important. So, please, I want to encourage us. Ensure that this business summit, you are always around to tap from what it has taken people years to learn. Very key. Make sure you make yourself available. And let me tell you, if you like, learn this. They said with knowledge is power. Is knowledge power? That has changed. Knowledge is no longer power. Yeah? It is the application of knowledge that is what? Power. If you know you do not do, where the power dey? Zero. If you know, do. Sometimes if you like, make blunders. If we don't gain, we learn, but we don't lose. Are you getting it? It may not profit me, but I have learned how it does not work. I didn't lose. Because knowledge sometimes could be very expensive. Are we there? So, always make yourself available. And when you learn, practice. One thing God has blessed me with is the ability to apply what I learned. The way you sit down here, that's how I was sitting down some years ago in this town. And today, I have my real estate company. I learn. As I learn, finish, my head, they boots. How do I do this? Where do I have to? How do I have to? You know? And most times, it's always good to learn from another man's experience. Just like you are here now. You register as a realtor. Say, I want to sell Africa Green Gate properties. You come to be equipped with needed information. On a daily basis, you go about marketing the product. When they ask you questions you don't know, you come back to the office. After some time, you will be a moving real estate giant. Sometimes, even if you don't have your company, when they are looking for an experienced person in the industry, they will call you. I was looking for a partner the other day. Who did they call for me? Somebody who is working. He does not have a company, but he's been working in a real estate company for some time. He now has the knowledge. That's why if you are doing a job that don't give you skill, you are being cheated, no matter how much you are earning. Because job, what I see job to be is something that engage you for some time. You learn the work and go and do your own. I don't believe in employment. I don't believe in employment. So, but is it bad to be employed? No. That's why when you are taking a job, be careful. Take a job that will teach you. Are we there? So we have mentioned areas where we can come in. 200,000 can start investment. Yeah? If you don't know how to, let me know. See, at the end of the year, you see that you are able to save 300,000. If you are able to save this money, remember that savings is not equal to consumption. Yeah? What's the calculation of income? Income is equal to what? It is equal to C plus what? Plus S. Consumption plus what? Savings. So when you receive income, money, maybe income, you divide it into two. You keep a part and what? Consume a part. Therefore, in fact, consume the most part. But this one that you keep, don't go back to it. I tell my staff, I say, save, borrow to spend. If your salary is 30,000 in a month, you save 5,000. Then you keep 25,000 to spend. If at the end of the year, before on the 20th, maybe from on the 20th, your 25K don't go. Some people that are not disciplined, they will run back to that 25K. If you get sense, go borrow. Ah, but give me 2K first. What else I'll give you? You know what? Even if you go collect that 5K, it will not still be enough. That discipline. There's one book I want to recommend for you. The Richest Man in Babylon. How many people have read it there? That book is so good. He said, if I cast a stone, if I tell myself, every time I pass through this stream, I must cast a stone. If one day I'm passing, I forget to cast a stone, I go some miles away from the stream, and I remember I will come back to go and cast that stone. We're talking about savings, capital formation, the sure escape from what? Poverty. When you sell a land, you make 5%. Do you eat all the money? Take a portion. Go and put it where you will not go back to it. We have a platform here now where you can be saving 2,000 for land. That's savings. So we must learn to save no matter how small our income is. Even if it is 1,000, let's keep 1 naira. Because this 5K plus another 5K is what? 10,000. I started business with my first 50,000 in my entire life. The first thing I ever see in my life, 50K. That's how I used to start business. And I've been in business for since that time. I go Susu. I was hawking book. If I go and sell books, if I come back, we'll do scoring 5,000 every week. I go give the 5K. Like that. One day they now give me 50K. Said I don't. I've never seen 50K in my entire life. I sat down and look at 50,000. Big money. What do I do with this? In my room that time, I was not having phone. Because my phone was the one I brought from school. So it was so weak. Then no fun. I now asked myself, should I put this money in making this room fine? Then I said, I should start business with this money. I look. My mind tells me, leave your house like this. Start business. I went to church. I gave my pastor 5,000 for that money. Then I was not looking for a shop. I got to a place. How much is the rent? The rent was 5K a month. And they told me that the person just packed. He has paid for 1 year. He has stayed for 6 months. It's the remaining 6 months. That if I can pay for that 6 months, I have the shop. And I just gave them instantly 30K. Are we there? The money don't finish. I love the shop. Nothing to put inside. In fact, at that time, I was thinking, should I do A or B? Even if I have decided I should do A, where the money to do it? No money. But I rented a shop. After 2 months, I became vexed in my spirit. What do I do? My rentage is going. And I went and took a loan. My mind is to sell books. I love to read. And if I have sold books in that place, I will not make money. One day I just entered the shop. My neighbor, our sales girl, said, I hear say this place na computer school they want to do for here. I've never thought of it. As she just made that statement, it dawned on me, computer school. When I now I called my younger brother. I said, what do you think we can do computer school day to work? He said, yes, so let's try it. I changed my mind. I took a loan, 150,000. Now we are still be now. If you see what 150,000 did in that place that time, God, it looked as if somebody brought money from abroad with this beautiful work. That money, in 3 months, we have made it. I put my younger brother there, teach you, because this debt, we need to pay it. I carry book, I enter road. So, what am I saying? If I wasn't able to form that 50,000 naira capital, I would have not been where I am today. That's one. If I have used the capital I formed to buy foam they give us the money, to buy foam or buy silicone, another story. So, form what? Capital. Discipline yourself to form capital. When you form capital, don't use it to eat. Put it into what? Investment. Please, be careful of the kind of investment you do. It's not Ponzi scheme. That's why I told you that the most secure investment is real estate what? why it has no risk. I will always tell you that in fact, it has no risk. So we say there is no business without risk, but this risk level is in real estate is very, very, very low. Some people in Warri here, that is very common. Just come and meet this guy. He get one website, so if you put 20,000, the next day to give you 50,000. I don't know why they do what I shop they are using for them. I don't know. How many times? Only this year, how many times? I enter a computer shop where they are doing stuff. They want to do my design. How far? They were just pressing for how much your money don't drop. Yeah, you don't drop. Oh, how much? They don't give me 30,000 now. The 30,000 they will put on their dashboard. Withdraw, they cannot withdraw it. I look at the app they showed me. I said, I gave them 2 weeks. I said, how long are people there? They say 2 weeks. I said, the next 2 weeks, if this thing is working, all the money you have put, I'll give to you. If this website is still alive. He says that, oh, you bought this, or you bought that. Go ahead. The owner of that shop went and borrowed money and put in that platform. Over 1 million. Wait. 2 weeks later, when I went there, everywhere was silent. It was like graveyard. Last year, there was a boy who was saving in my hand. I saw the way he was saving. Sometimes you want to save money. In a week, you could save 20,000. I was not thinking he had something. I went to him. I said, if you have from 500,000, bring it. Let's invest it. We'll be making 5% on a monthly basis. You take 2%, I'll take 3%. Because the expenses of running the business is me that will buy it. He said, no, that's too small now. There's a place I'll put this money now. In the next 2 weeks, I'll make 200,000. Jesus. I said, tell me the place I want to put my money. He said, no, you don't want me to involve for acting. No. We now discuss. I couldn't convince him. I left. A month later, the boy, he went to invest 1.8 million in that thing. He was saying, 1.8 million. Run, the website now got working. Where's the address? Abuja. Went to Abuja. I said, these people have never been here. They are never. This is what you are talking about. Want to wipe? I said, wipe. The boy is down now, unable to rise. Unfortunately for him, as he returned, 2 of his business closed down. Quick riches is not real. Anybody tell you can happen overnight, it's a lie. Are you getting it? So, but if he has agreed, small, we are not promising you speed. Say it will happen now. But we are saying he's sure it must happen. Real estate investment. 20% returns on investment. Some real estate company will give you 30%. You'll be thinking, how can they raise that money? The truth, they are raising it. If you buy one land, one estate like this, before you sell half, you have made that money times 3. Because it's very lucrative. So, 3 things I said you can do immediately. You can become an estate property manager. You can become a realtor. Sell land. Let the world know that what you do is what says of land. My family, we have a WhatsApp platform. Every week, I must post there. Topic, real estate. Why do I do real estate? Why is real estate better than buying stocks? You know what I'm trying to do? I want it to be registered in their subconscious mind that this their brother, all he does is what? Real estate. Tomorrow, one of them will need property. Some of them are abroad. Who is the best person to consult? This man that is always teaching us about property. That's it. Everybody they'll meet you 2 times should know what you do, what you represent. I can tell you that all my friends and well-wishers know that I am an identity of what? Real estate. That's my brand. The world must know what I do, so that when they need my service, they'll come to me. Very important. Agent, realtor. I tell you the something even happened last year. The owner of Jigtex Homes is now international brand. How long? 8 years in the business. Now has business in Dubai, has office in Dubai, has office in US. They just bought a land in US now, 140 acres. the largest estate in the US. How old is that young man? Less than 50 years old. Started from nothing. Just the way you are here. That's how they started 8 years ago. But today, he said the American stock exchange have given them some amount of the money, and now what they just need is $70 million. When I multiply, you know how much? Over 10 billion. 10 billion to build estate in US. So you can start small. Associate with people in the industry. Sell other people's property. Learn more about the business. You'll be shocked in the nearest future. You become a giant in the industry. Then which other small one I mentioned? Real estate investment, or I mentioned that one. Real estate management, realtor, then buying land and keep. When you have amassed money, what do? You store it in what? In land. Because while you are sleeping, the land is growing what? In value. And then you say, when you now save, you have 5 million. The only thing I advise you do outside business, comfortable home. Not be go build your own home. I know people that sell buildings, they don't have their own house. And a friend of mine built a house, after 3 months, somebody said he likes that. He said it move, enter penalty. It's smart. Car. If you are really practicing, why I say car? Because you are practicing. If you tell me come and buy estate, 2 million. You use leg, say slap go. You don't look like 1 million. You say, I give you 2 million. You don't look like 1 million. You go hard go. I'm telling you the truth, too. If I don't say look 2 million, you look 500,000. You must appear smart, talk smart. I work for Suso company, and you are not leveraging on the image of that what company to sell your product. Then after some time, maybe you have made some millions. Be mobile. When you say be mobile, so people think car is a liability. It's not true. It's a liability, but it's a necessary liability. Why do you buy a car? Because you need to be touring. When we are dealing on sales proper, hey, we are going to look everything in and out of selling, in and out. From leaving your home to closing a deal. We look at everything. Yes. We learn from global experts by the grace of God. So there are skills in doing these things. So I think that will be all. I'll just give a few minutes for questions. Any question you have to ask as far as real estate is concerned, the topic of any question at all, feel free to ask me. When did I start? I didn't check time. Okay. Almost an hour. Any question? Any question? Any question? I'm a business consultant. So if you are having difficulty in your business life, ask. That's why I'm here. Yeah.
I think I have the partial answer to this question, but let me just ask it
Yes.
for further verification.
Yes.
When selling land, how do you give somebody guarantee? Because I've been asked that question a lot. How do I trust that this land and they're doing? How do you give somebody that guarantee that they are looking for when you are selling the land?
The land. Okay. First of all, we have many things to say. First of all, you are buying from a company. I have not seen any real estate company that is not registered. Real estate company are CAC certified. And if you know how real estate company buy land, they buy land in bulk, large expanse of land. Then they sell in pieces. Are you getting it? Now, somebody cannot just go a land that is as big as, let's say, 10 acres and tell you that it's not the land is not actually it's a stolen land. It's not 50 by 100 where you say from year to year it's my own, come and pay me. We're talking about huge land. So tell them, you are not dealing with individual, you are dealing with what? A company. Not just a company, a limited liability company that cannot be registered with one person. We are talking about group of persons. Are you getting in? So even if A is sick, B is still what? There. So you don't have any problem. I'll tell you, even if I die today, business continues. That's how the business is structured. We are also going to train also business structuring. I told the boy, we're having a place I needed to go and teach on Thursday. The boy ran down and said, I have something to do. And I cannot stay. I just come and show my face. I told you, I said, when you are stressed like this, know that you are very poor. You are very broke. I said, in my life, when I was not having time like this, that was when I was having nothing to even live on. Because your aim is equal to your efforts. At this stage in my life, I live on people's time and energy. So I can be sleeping and making money. So when I sleep, don't mind me. People are working for me. Until you get, we will tell you how to scale. Because one of the confusion people have, they know how to start, they know how to dream big, but they don't know how to now move from here to what? To here. That's why we are here. That's why we are here. In the next 2 years, the governor of this state should know that there is Africa Green Gate Business School. I tell you the truth. With the impact we'll be making. So one thing I've said is what? You are dealing with what? A company. And a company is a living entity according to law. It continues to live, even outlive the what? The owner. 2, we don't buy land in small size. We buy land in a large expanse. So it's very difficult no community will come and say, you are no longer here. We want to carry you go another place. So you want to carry us go. So it's not possible. There is security. Then 2, documentation. This land has 50 by 100. Do they give you register survey? Do they give you survey document for 50 by 100? In community, they have paper. So they do have paper, they mark their land and sell in pieces. But with company, the company are always conscious that the person that will survey the land is a registered what? Surveyor. And when you buy, that document will be given to you. So tell the client, go and verify the ownership of these what? Properties. And another thing you tell the client, let's go there, you are going to see the signboard of the what? Company on the property. We don't do shit. It's a company business. Company don't do shit. It's not a one-man show. So with all of this, the client should be what? Convinced. Yeah. Any question?
What you say just now about documentation, I really want to know what are all the documents involved in real estate property deal?
First of all, we have the agreement between you and the family that sells. The document given to you by the community. Register surveyor document on that land. C of what? I think that's the highest. Once you have these ones, some company will not give you this. That's document from the family, document from the community. That one is between the company and. But if you are buying, you must have a copy of what? The surveyor plan. And a copy of what? The C of O. If we buy 10 plots, they don't give us 10 C of O. Is 1. But if you buy a portion of that plot, a photocopy of the C of O must be attached to the document of contract of sale. Are you getting it now? Between you and the company must be attached to it to show that you have the certificate of occupancy. That's of that portion of the land. Because everyone will say the estate belongs to the company, that land belongs to who buys it for life. You understand now? So these are the documents. Eh? Uh-huh. Contracts of sale. This contract of sale, this one comes from the company, this one comes from government. Contracts of sale come from what? The company. Any other question? Ask any question in your mind. Any question. I know some people who don't have work now, all they do is selling and selling and selling of real estate. You sell one property, it's more than people's earning in a month, the profit from it. Ask any you don't have question to ask me. You understand everything. Everything. I want to ask question. If you don't ask me, I want to ask. My friend Unread, you have been very active in this class. Mention 2 things you are taking away from these lectures. 2 things. Okay, realtors and what? Property management. Okay, you want to go and explore those ones. Okay, that's what you have learned. Is there another thing you have learned? Okay, capital formation. Putting small money together. So 200 naira in 1 month. Every day in 1 month, how much? It's 6,000. 200 naira. I did it many years ago when I was single. I was doing 200 naira every day. And after some time, I was able to finish 1 full card, 12 months. You know how much the woman gave me? 72,000. Jesus. The form in my children's room today, that's what I ran to a phone shop. I want to buy one big. It's not now. I bought that phone that time, 20,000. It was very high. It's still there today. More careful. Asset. Yeah. Thank you so much. My friend, what's your take home? Yeah. Yes. Good. You must learn to start from where you are with what you have. And don't walk in the world of ignorance. Ensure that you are walking in knowledge. Very important. My brother, talk to us. Beautiful, beautiful. Immediate environment, good. Thank you so much. That's a powerful one. Start locally, but think what? Not have small mind though. It's one of the problem I have. Even as a child, my father was accusing me of thinking too big. One day he said, hey, you want to buy a car? And I said, I'm recommending one for you. He said, what's the name of the car? I said, C-Class. Then, no, many years ago. He said, how much? I said, it's not expensive. He said, how much? I said, 1.2 million. He just looked at this. He said, yeah, borrow me 500,000. Borrow me 500,000. I said, Daddy, I don't have. He was so angry because I said it's cheap. That was the problem. 1.2 million for him at that time was not cheap. But that's nothing. It's not true. Do you know it's nothing? When I was in school, I said 2 million. Give me 2 million. Hey God, I will scatter everywhere. I will do business. I will enter this one. I will do this one. God, when I now started business, I now discovered that 5 million is change, really change. It's very small money. 1 million is like 10,000. I'm telling you the truth. If you have not seen it, you think there's something big in it. When you say you see money, it's 100 million above, 200 million, 1 billion. Hey, you say, I have small money. Not be 10 million. Don't enter a car shop before you come and 50 million has gone. Yeah? So, but God will give us the grace. As we continue to push without giving up, we will get there. Where you just call us, say, someone doing it, say 10M, say your account number. Beep, beep, beep. Thank you so much.